Alpha.
Sony have been on an absolute roll this year with the amount of new cameras and lenses that they've released, but there's a new concept that is creating a huge hype in the vlogging community, and that is the release of the brand new Sony A7C full frame camera. That's right, this is the world's smallest, world's lightest full frame camera, but is it good for vlogging? We're about to find out after this. Hi, my name is Mike Eloff and I am a Sony Alpha ambassador based in the beautiful Cape Town, South Africa. However, I'm around about 1,500 kilometers from home at the moment because my girlfriend and I have been traveling around creating epic content for a couple of different lodges out on this side of South Africa for the last week and a half. That's what we do for a living after all. We're content creators, and what do I do in my spare time? Well, I like to vlog and I like to create epic memories, and what a better way to create epic memories on this specific trip than with the brand new Sony A7C. That's right, I've been putting this camera through its paces just to see exactly if it is a good camera for vlogging, and there's a few things I want to talk to you about that I think are really epic about this specific camera that I think you should know about if you're out looking for a new vlogging camera. So without further ado, let's get right into it and let's tackle a couple of the key features that I think are amazing about this camera. What good would a full frame camera be without the ability to change the lenses? And as you can see from the front of this camera, it is an interchangeable lens camera, so you can put whatever lenses you want on here. I've been rolling around in the bush for the last little while with this 20mm f1.8 GM prime lens. It is just an insanely cool lens to be using for vlogging, super professional and super wide. 20mm, full frame, it just works. However, I did shoot some epic stuff using the other lenses that I've got, which is a 70-200 as well as a 100-400, both Sony lenses, while out here in the bush because, well, I'm not going to not use epic glass to shoot things like lions and elephants and buffaloes and things like that. So all in all, the fact that it's full frame and that you can put your own lenses on and a whole bunch of different lenses is just amazing. So thank you very much to Sony. This is already such an epic little feature. Now, the next thing I'm going to talk about is going to get the entire vlogging community super excited. We've all been asking for it, and now we've got it. A fully articulating LCD screen, and what a pleasure it is to be able to have this on the side, to be able to hold the camera out in front of you, know that you're in the shot, and start vlogging straight away. This flip screen is not just great for vlogging though. I've used it for so many different things on this trip to get so many different angles, and it's just so incredible with the amount of things that you can do with an articulating flip screen. So thank you very much, Sony. That is one of the coolest features on this camera. Now, the next thing I'm going to talk about, I'm pretty sure you'll all agree with me. There's nothing worse than watching a vlog and the guy's vlogging or the girl and it's just super wobbly and it's just all over the place because the camera does not have stabilization built into it. With the Sony A7C, you don't have to worry about that because it's got steady shot built in, which is available in both 1080p as well as 4K. So if you're going to be filming in 4K or 1080p, you're going to get nice smooth footage while you're walking, and you don't have to worry about it being all over the place and somebody skipping to the next video because they just don't enjoy watching wobbly footage. So there's one feature that I really love on the Sony A7C, and that is the built-in steady shot. So no matter where I am, if I'm in the bush, back of the game vehicle like I am right now, I've got steady shot switched on. In fact, we've got a giraffe over there behind us. But as you can see, it's not too unstable and it's actually pretty cool. So yeah, you've got steady shot switched off, and as you can see, it's not as smooth as when it's switched on. So I think for now I'll switch it back on again so that the rest of my footage is nice and smooth. Right, the next thing I'm going to talk about is the fact that Sony has added in their epic autofocus, face tracking, eyeball tracking into the Sony A7C for both photographs as well as video. So when you're filming, my eyeball will always be in focus and always tracking so that I know when I'm vlogging, my face is always nice and sharp. But it doesn't just work for humans, and what a perfect place to test it out than here in the bush. As you can see over here, I did a test on myself and I've got my face in focus and the little eyeball is tracking. But what you can do on the Sony A7C is move it onto animal eyeball tracking, and that is just going to blow your mind. So check this out. I filmed a lion, and as you can see over here, it's picking up its eyeball. So I know that if I'm going to shoot a photograph or if I'm going to film it, its eyeball is going to be in focus. and it's just going to be nice and sharp. What a cool feature. So the next thing I'm going to talk about is color profiles. But before I talk about color profiles, let me tell you that at the end of this video, I am going to be dropping a code which is going to allow you to get 10% off all of your Sony purchases for the next 14 days. All right, so if you wanted to buy an A7C, you'll totally be able to do that. So stay tuned until the end of this video to find out what the code is going to be so that you can possibly get yourself an A7C or whatever Sony gear you want at 10% less. All right, so let's chat a little bit about the color profiles. Like I said, the color profiles that Sony has added into the A7C are next level. You've got 10 different picture profiles to choose from already, which is pretty cool. They've already created a whole bunch of profiles. So if you wanted to go and check and see what profile you wanted to use for a specific scene, there's 10 to choose from over there. However, if you wanted to shoot in super professional S-Log, H-Log, things like that, the Sony A7C allows you to do that too. It's just incredible the amount of amazing professional footage that you can get out of this. However, if you're just going to be shooting regular footage straight out of the camera, well, let me tell you that the colors are already vibrant and you're not going to need to do too much post-processing on your footage. It's an amazing camera. It's an amazing camera to have as a second camera as well. So if you're going to be using this as a professional or as a vlogging camera, it's just the perfect camera for so many different things. So the next thing that I love about the Sony A7C is that it's got a built-in intervalometer. Now, what does that mean and why do I love it so much? If you don't know what an intervalometer is, well, it's basically a timer on the camera that allows you to shoot interval shots, creating time lapses. And I love time lapses. Now, you can shoot 24 megapixel time lapses on the Sony A7C, and they are going to be absolutely amazing. But if you know anything about time lapses, you'll know that they take forever to edit. And as a vlogger, I like to speed up my workflow as much as I possibly can. So anywhere I can cut some corners there, I'll totally do that. And you can totally do that with the Sony A7C. So not only can you shoot interval timer, proper raw image, 24 megapixel time lapses, you can also do two other things. You can shoot a time lapse in S&Q. That's right, S&Q. If you know Sony gear, you'll know that S&Q allows you to shoot super slow motion video as well as time lapses at 1 frame a second. You basically push play on it, it shoots every 1 frame, captures a little image, and when you stop that, you get a whole little video lapse and it's ready for you to watch and actually just put straight into your vlog and it's ready to use. You don't even have to do anything else. In fact, I did a quick little example of that when we were at Jabalani while we were driving on an afternoon game drive. And as you can see over here, it looks super, super cool. I had it up on the little tripod next to me and I was filming it, and the result that came out was pretty epic. Then the other type of time lapse that you can shoot on the Sony A7C is of course a video lapse. And if you're going to be shooting a video lapse, shoot it in 4K, because if you're editing on a 1080p timeline like I am, then you can really punch into that and you can zoom in and do a little digital zoom. So 3 different types of time lapses that you can do on the Sony A7C that will really, really be epic as B-roll footage in your vlogs. And if you want to speed up your workflow, those video lapses are really, really going to help. Let's talk about what the A7C is capable of. So if you're going to be shooting in 1080p, you can shoot all the way up to 100 frames a second or 120 if you're shooting on NTSC. I'm here in South Africa, so we shoot on PAL and it goes up to 100 frames a second. Then if you're going to be shooting on 4K, you can shoot at 25 frames a second or up to 30 frames a second if you're shooting at NTSC. Now, I don't shoot a lot of 4K footage because it takes so long for it to edit on my actual machine itself. So I love shooting 1080p at really, really slow frame rates. But then again, if I'm going to be vlogging and I need some low light stuff, I'll definitely shoot over into 4K, and I'll shoot 4K as much as I possibly can in different other situations. But the camera is capable of shooting a whole bunch of really, really good quality footage, and it's just incredible. That coupled with all of the color profiles and all of the other things that goes with it, it's just an amazing camera. Now, the last thing I'm going to talk about is the outside of the camera, because, well, some people have asked me about it. Like, what is it like? What is it like to hold it? What is it like to look through the viewfinder and things like that? So yeah, I'm going to tell you about it. So it's nice and compact, but it's still got a nice little grip on it, and it's even got a nice little texture over here. And I can't really seem to place what the texture feels like, but it's nice and grippy. Then if you're having trouble looking at the LCD screen in a bright situation, you do have a viewfinder. It is quite small, but it does work and it does the job in the situation when you need it best. But most of the time I've been relying on the LCD screen, and I haven't even had to look through the viewfinder at all because, well, I've been using this camera mostly as a vlogging camera. Then the other thing that you'll notice is that it's got a hot shoe at the top over here, so you can put a flash if you wanted to, or a microphone. If you're going to be vlogging, I would highly recommend putting a microphone at the top over here. It's got a microphone jack on the side, so if your microphone is cabled, you can plug it in over there. I use the super cool and super fancy microphone over here from Sony. It's wireless and it's just amazing because as soon as you put it into the actual hot shoe itself, it's digital and it connects up and you're good to go, and the quality of the sound that comes out of it is epic. Now, the next thing that you can do with the Sony A7C is you can actually plug headphones into the headphone jack, which is here on the side as well. And if you want to open it up on the side, you'll see that it opens up on the side, and that's where your SD slot goes in. Only one SD slot. Now, if you're going to be a vlogger, then I would highly recommend you get yourself some cool accessories for your Sony A7C. I use the really epic microphone, which I've already touched on, as well as this really cool Bluetooth remote. Now, the epic thing about this remote is that it actually turns into a little tripod, so you can sit it down wherever you want and you can have a little tripod. But it doesn't just do that. It's got these little buttons on it. So if I push the record button, it's going to automatically start the clip for me. If I push a photograph, it's going to take a photograph. And if I've got lenses that are compatible for zooming in and out, I can do that too. I can also even program the C1 button on my Sony camera to do whatever I want. Now with the Sony A7C, because it's a full frame camera, sometimes I really want to punch in using that 20mm prime lens. So I've programmed the C1 to be the APS-C crop mode. So it really punches in and gives me a little bit more to work with when I'm filming. And that, my friends, is the inside and the outside of the Sony A7C. And as you can see, it is already a good camera. So is it good for vlogging? Well, I don't know. You guys tell me after watching this little sequence. Alright, so now you know what I love about the Sony A7C. Let me take you guys on a cool little adventure out here in the bush and show you exactly what this thing is made of. Let's go. 3, 2, 1. Well, the elephants are definitely playing around with us today because, they are in the water. Look at this! You've just come across a massive herd of buffalo. Right, well, I hope you enjoyed that as much as I enjoyed filming it. And if you guys enjoyed it that much, then, well, I know that you're going to want to go and get yourself a Sony A7C. But whoa, don't even jump out of your seat just yet. Settle just a second, because you can get your stuff online or at retailers around South Africa 10% discount on your next Sony purchase using my code, which is Life of Mike. So don't forget to use my code for the next 14 days. It's available until the 31st of October. The 31st of October. Anything after that, you won't be able to use this code. 10% will not work. Life of Mike, use it until the 31st of October and go and get yourself an epic Sony A7C or whatever Sony gear you want to get. You'll get 10% discount on that, and it's on you. So with that said, I hope you enjoyed watching this video as much as I enjoyed filming it. Until the next time, guys, ciao ciao.